Now, it's not really a secret that there's drama between SSSniperwolf and Jacksfilms. SSniperwolf mostly makes incredibly lazy reaction content, where she basically just looks at other people's TikToks and says like one thing about the TikTok before moving on to the next one. Sometimes it seems like she even crops the TikToks to hide the creator's name. Basically, in my opinion, SSniperwolf's videos are pretty much just blatant content theft. Jacksfilms seems to think so too, but he does take his disdain for her lazy content to an actually absurd degree. Honestly, I'm not even really sure what started it. It might have been that SSniperwolf got mad at Jacksfilms when he did a parody of her videos. But what matters is that what started as simple internet drama has now crossed the line into the real world in a kind of scary way. You see, the other night, SSniperwolf decided to not only dox Jacksfilms, but also to like stake out his house and post a video of it to her Instagram story. Honestly, not just dangerous, but creepy. So when I say that Jacksfilms takes his dislike for her and her content to a pretty insane degree for online drama, I mean it. Since she basically just takes other people's videos and re-uploads them with her face on the side and minimal interaction, Jack started to do that too, as parody. Sometimes just taking her video and superimposing his face onto it, and reacting in the same way she does. He's also recently helped a lot of small content creators, mostly from TikTok, figure out the correct way to get their content, which was used without permission, removed from SSniperwolf's videos. He's basically on a crusade against her, but instead of doing it in a mean way, he's using parody and comedy to point out how bad her content is, and that the fact that YouTube constantly talks her up is kinda a bad thing. But to be fair to SSniperwolf, he has made like so many of these videos parodying her, even an entire channel called Jacksfilms, which has the username styled after SSniperwolf's weird silent leading letter thing. That being said, Jacksfilms might have gone a bit far on his call out of her, but he never did anything that really crossed any lines, like for instance showing up at her house. But for some reason, SSniperwolf decided to take the online beef into the real world, which is a major line to cross. It would have been bad enough if she had just accidentally run into Jacksfilms somewhere and gotten mad at him or something, but no, she went even further than I think any sane person would go. She drove to his house. Not only that, but she posted a video of his house onto her public Instagram, which is psycho stuff, to be honest. It started with this photo and poll on her Instagram story, asking her fans if she should go to Jacksfilms' house, since he lives like 5 minutes from where she was shooting whatever content she was making that day. Which, when you really think about it, is kind of crazy in and of itself, because it means that not only has she looked up Jacksfilms' legal address in the past, but she committed it to memory enough to realize when she was going to be close enough to it to make it viable for her to go and show up. Not exactly something that people do routinely. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put the video of Jacksfilms' house in this video, but she later followed up by driving to Jacksfilms' house and taking a video of the outside of it with the caption, "Let's talk like adults" at Jacksfilms, which honestly is something out of a mafia movie. In the industry, we call this a thinly veiled threat, basically a "I know where you live" type warning. It would be bad enough if she had sent this to Jacksfilms in DMs, but by posting the video of his house to her Instagram story, she doxed Jacksfilms. Since it's not really hard for some crazy people to find where someone lives based on the outside of their house. I mean, look at some of the GeoGuessr channels on YouTube. If one of those guys wanted to use their power for evil, well, this would give them the location. Jacksfilms obviously called this out for what it was immediately when he saw it. He posted a tweet saying that SSniperwolf had doxed him and called it creepy, gross, and violating. SSniperwolf screenshotted Jack's response tweet and posted that to her Instagram story with the caption, "This creep has been harassing me for months," then plays victim saying, "I threatened him when I just wanted to talk to him. I have no ill intentions." It's so sad when people have to constantly create drama to pay their bills. Personally, I think that the person creating drama in this scenario is probably the one who went to the other's house, uninvited, and posted a video of it for the world to see. But I guess SSniperwolf doesn't see it that way. There were a few more posts on her Instagram, basically of her trying to shirk responsibility for what she'd done, but none are so poetic as this one, where she said, "Accusing me of doxing is defamation. I have no idea how to dox. He literally posted his address on Google and said I threatened him and doxed him." Honestly, I don't know if she's just making excuses or if she genuinely doesn't understand how what she did was wrong, and I don't know which of those options would be worse. So let's walk through that. She says she doesn't know how to dox, and saying she did is defamation. Well, doxing is just posting someone's personal information online/publicly where anyone can see it, when the person whose information it is obviously doesn't want it out in the wider world. I think that it's pretty clear that posting a video of the outside of someone's house falls into that definition, and so do the majority of people who I've seen discuss it. Well, it's not as bad as if she posted his straight up address. It's definitely still past the boundary and just the wrong thing to do, especially over internet drama. Secondly, I don't think he literally posted his address on Google. I think that she looked up his docs and is now saying that she thinks that he posted his own docs. So it's okay? Which, I mean, that's not really how that works. And Jacksfilms definitely did not post his own address for anyone to see on Google. And as for how she threatened him, well, like I said earlier, it's the implied threat of, I know where you live. So literally everything she said in that post was wrong, in my opinion. Now, Jacksfilms has been calling for Sniperwolf to be deplatformed, or at the very least, demonetized by YouTube over this, which I can understand. The dude has to be livid. Now he has to worry about people just showing up at his house and doing God knows what. It's a dangerous scenario, but I'm not really going to take his side here. I don't think that she should be punished on YouTube for what she did. Maybe for her type of content, but not for this. Was what she did bad? Yes. It was literally the worst possible thing she could have done, and it may have quite literally put Jacksfilms in danger, but it didn't happen on YouTube. I don't subscribe to the idea that platforms should take action against people for the things they do off platform. We already have something to do that. It's called the government. We don't need the platforms to make themselves into an unelected government, enforcing their will onto people, enforcing creators, or just users in general, to do or not do certain things in their real lives as a condition for use of the platform. If Jacksfilms feels like he needs to do something about this, the correct course of action isn't to lobby YouTube for her removal. It's to hire a lawyer and see if she did anything he can take legal action over. That's how the world works. Now, doxing in and of itself isn't actually a crime in most places, despite popular belief. It varies by state. However, he could hire a lawyer and see if he can get a restraining order or some other action taken against her for harassment and what he clearly views as a veiled threat, let alone the actual threat of sharing where he lives with her fans. My point is that the real actual thing that should happen is that YouTube should stay out of this, because the second this left the internet and went into the real world, they ceased to be involved. It entered the big boy legal world now, and if he wants to do something about it, Jack shouldn't whine to YouTube for things they have no reason to care about. He should do America's favorite pastime and, you know, use the government, the courts, the police for what they exist for. I can't get over how many YouTubers seem to think that the platforms are the arbiters of justice, but in reality, we pay quite a bit of money every year to the real arbiters of justice, the government. It's literally all they exist for. So while I disagree and condemn what Sniperwolf did in the strongest terms, I won't say that she should face any action on YouTube for it. Possibly Instagram, since she posted the video there, if posting that kind of information is against their rules. But really, Jack just needs to hire a lawyer and handle this the grown-up way. I can understand why he wouldn't want to, why he would want to destroy her career for this. But at the end of the day, that's not really fair either. What do you guys think? Should Sniperwolf face consequences on YouTube? Or should YouTube leave real-life events for the government to deal with? I'd be interested to hear what you guys think, since I know this is a complicated and pretty heated topic for most people. But I think the moral of the story is that maybe we should all just let the internet drama stay on the internet. Thank you for watching, have a great day, and God bless you.